Hey there, it's Tammy Metzler, and thank you so much for joining me on this free training series, 3 website mistakes that stop website visitors from joining your list or investing in your products and services. So before we begin, I just wanted to take a moment to kind of tell you a little bit more about who I am and how I came to be here. So, kind of nutshell version, I started my business back in 2007 on a dream to work from home. But my story actually goes back to 2006 when I graduated from college with a degree in English after attending school part-time on the side of a full-time job. So by that time, I was really ready to get out of my dead-end job, which had consisted mostly of filing and other clerical work, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with those tasks, but they bored me to tears. And I longed to find a job where I could spend my days writing to my heart's content. See, I'd always loved to write, and the idea that I could actually get paid to do so was a pretty delicious notion. But writing jobs in my neck of the woods were scarce, to say the least, and competition was fierce. So after about a year of hitting dead ends on the job front, I started to get discouraged, and I felt like I was drifting away from my dream more and more each day. So finally I decided enough was enough, and that if I couldn't find a job doing what I wanted to do, I would make my own. So in 2007, The Right Associate was born. And I took my time putting the pieces in place and spent another year or so researching how to start a business, all while holding down my day job at an advertising agency. But my plans were rushed a bit when my newlywed husband and I discovered that we had a bundle of joy on the way. And by the time our daughter arrived in April of 2008, I was still working full-time at that advertising agency. And I very happily took my 6-week unpaid maternity leave as an opportunity to not only bond with my little girl, but to also kick my business into full gear. See, I really dreaded the idea of going back to work, and by the time my maternity leave was coming to an end, and I still didn't have daycare lined up because I'd been putting it off. And thankfully, my husband was able to take some time off work, so he took my place as child care provider while I went back to work. But I was miserable, even more so than before. And every day it felt like I was wasting my life away, doing what felt to me like meaningless tasks, while my dream to work as a writer sat on hold, and my baby girl grew up without me. So about a week into my return to work, I went out to my car, I called my husband, and through a mouthful of sobs told him that I couldn't do it anymore, that I wanted to quit my job and focus on my writing business full time. Now, keep in mind that I had had all of 2 paying clients total in my year in business, so it's not like business was booming, and we really needed both incomes to survive. But ever the optimist, I felt confident that I could make it work. So even though I had no business experience, no real-world marketing experience, I thought, well, I know how to string a few sentences together, so I can put up a free website and the clients are going to come pouring in. You know, I'd worked on million-dollar advertising campaigns at the ad agency, but that doesn't do you a whole lot of good when you're just a one-person business with basically no advertising budget. So I was really starting from scratch. And needless to say, the clients did not come pouring in, at least not right at first. And I quickly discovered that while I was born a decent writer, I was not born knowing how to write to sell. And that was a skill I had to learn over the years. But that's actually good news for everybody, because if I could learn how to do it on the side of trying to raise a small child, trying to market my business, and doing the client work that actually put food on the table, anybody can learn how to do this, right? So it's all about bypassing a few common mistakes that most websites make, and that I definitely made in the early days of my own business. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Today I'm going to give you the 3rd reason. We'll start with the 3rd, and we'll talk about why your website visitors aren't joining your newsletter list or investing in your products and services, so that you can nip this very common mistake in the bud and get more clients from your website. So the 3rd mistake most websites make that keep them from attracting clients is, drum roll please, not building enough credibility and trust on your website. See, when website visitors stumble onto your site, they often don't know you from Joe Blow down the street. As far as they know, you could be a scam artist looking to rip them off, or maybe just someone who walks the walk, but can't deliver the actual results people are looking for. So the bottom line is that people buy from people that they feel like they know, like, and trust. But the good news is that you can foster this sense of know, like, and trust even if you've never met your client, simply by using your website's About page effectively. So, how do you get complete strangers to feel like they know, like, and trust you? There are 3 main ways to use your website's About page to build credibility and trust. Number 1 is to tell your story. Now, this is all about how you came to be in the position to help them. People tend to go into business for themselves because they solved a particular problem and want to help others solve that problem as well. But they typically don't place enough emphasis on their own experiences. For example, maybe you're a busy working mom who figured out how to lose those last 10 pounds of baby weight without going to the gym every day for hours on end, or starving yourself, both things that we either don't have time to do or really don't want to do. So maybe you figured out a home-based workout routine that you could do before the kids got up, and maybe make some simple diet changes, something like that. So using your own story can be a powerful way to not only reinforce your solutions, but also make people feel like they know you a bit better. So, and the other option is to tell their story. Maybe you don't have your own story per se, but received specific exclusive training. So one of my clients, a virtual assistant, was one of only a few professionals who were allowed into a well-known, highly successful marketer's training program on product launches. So instead of marketing herself as a general internet marketing VA, as she'd been doing, we highlighted the fact that she knew these industry secrets and was trained by the best of the best. So even though she didn't yet have a paying client, she was able to use her knowledge and training to boost her credibility. And last but not least, to showcase testimonials. So this is to make use of the happy stories that you get from your clients. And this is one of the fastest ways to build trust, is to hear it from someone else. The one thing that you really want to avoid is sitting there saying that you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, because that comes off as braggy and off-putting, right? But if your client Sally says it, those words are golden. So it's a lot easier to believe what a third party says than if you simply say it yourself. So now here is the other big question you might be wondering. What's the quickest way to get testimonials? Ask. I know it's simple, but it is so powerful, and it's something that so many people don't do. Now, once people feel that you're legit, their defenses go down, and they'll be much more likely to take advantage of your products and services. Okay, so that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and please keep an eye on your email for the next 2 videos over the coming days, which will reveal not only the top 2 mistakes that most websites make, but we'll also share one simple formula for getting website visitors excited about your products and services, plus 11 ways to turn website visitors into clients. And in the meantime, please use the comment section below to share your top takeaways from this video training. Let me know if you learned anything new, or what one thing you'll do today to build more credibility and trust in website visitors. Or to just ask me questions if you have any, and I'll make sure I do my best to respond. And if you liked what you learned here and feel like it might be helpful to your friends, please use the buttons below to share this video. Thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you in the next videos. Bye-bye.